Welcome to the Sketcher tutorial video. We're first going to start with adding atoms. To start any structure, first add an atom or a molecule template to the workspace. There are two methods. Either click and drag the desired atom or molecule from the sidebar and drop it into the workspace. Or click on an element or molecule in the atom bar to select it, then click to add it to the workspace. When an atom is selected in the atom bar, you will see a watermark in the upper right corner that says Place Selected Atom. This is called the atom stamp. Forming and changing bonds. To form a bond, click and drag from one atom to another. Repeat to form double and triple bonds. The bond type can also be changed by clicking on the bond to select it, then clicking on the desired bond type in the bond menu on the left side of the workspace. Notice how this menu only appears when it is applicable, that is, only when a bond is selected. Alternatively, there are keyboard shortcuts to change the bond type when a bond is selected. 1, 2, and 3 change the bond to a single, double, or triple bond, respectively. Or W, D, and S can be used to change the bond to a wedge, dash, or squiggle. The direction of a bond can be flipped by clicking the arrow button at the bottom of the bond menu or by pressing F. Click an empty space to deselect the bond. Bonds can also be formed by dragging from an existing atom in the workspace. If a particular atom is not selected, the bond defaults to carbon. Otherwise, click on an atom in the atom bar to turn on that atom stamp. Notice the watermark in the corner. Dragging from an existing atom will add the selected atom to the end of a bond. The same can be done with molecule templates. Click on the atom in the atom bar to turn off the atom stamp. When forming a long carbon chain, hold down Shift and click and drag from an existing carbon to add a chain of a desired length. Replacing atoms. When editing a structure, there are three ways to replace atoms. Either select an atom in the workspace and click on another element in the atom bar, or select an element in the atom bar and click on an atom in the workspace to replace. Click the element in the atom bar to turn off the atom stamp, or drag and drop an atom onto another. Selecting and moving atoms and molecules. Notice how the default mode in Sketcher is the selection mode, meaning as long as the atom stamp is not on, clicking on an item in the workspace selects it, as indicated by the blue highlight. Once an atom is selected, it can be moved by clicking and dragging. Click an empty space to deselect the object. An entire molecule can be selected by double-clicking on an atom. Clicking and dragging an atom or bond will move the molecule. Dragging a box around the molecule can select all or a portion of it. Similarly, a selected portion can be moved and will move about the attached bond. Multiple atoms and bonds can be selected by holding down Shift when clicking on the object. This is helpful for performing actions on multiple atoms and bonds at once. Rotating molecules. When an entire molecule is selected, use the Rotate Molecule button in the menu on the left to rotate the molecule. Showing or hiding implied hydrogens and lone pairs. When an atom is selected, the atom menu on the left appears. The top two buttons can be used to show or hide lone pairs and implied hydrogens. All lone pairs are automatically included. Implied hydrogens on carbon are included and can be shown as well. On heteroatoms, the hydrogens can be shown to see the bonds or collapse. Adding charges. When an atom is selected, click the plus charge or minus charge buttons to add a charge. The number of hydrogen atoms and lone pairs on an atom will automatically change accordingly. Editing the atom will remove the charge label. Charges are not automatically calculated. The user always has to add the charge label. Click and drag labels to adjust their location around the atom. Deleting atoms and bonds. There are three methods for deleting atoms and bonds. Either select an atom or bond and click the erase button, or select an atom or bond and press the delete key on the keyboard, or select the erase button in the toolbar and click on the atoms and bonds you want to delete. When the erase button is selected, a watermark will appear in the upper right corner that says erase. Click the erase button again to turn it off. The reset button will reset the entire workspace to its original state, whether it was blank or had a structure to begin with. Deleting versus hiding hydrogens. It is important to note that deleting a hydrogen is different from hiding a hydrogen. In Sketcher, hydrogens on carbon cannot be deleted. Rather, they can be hidden, and thus implied. However, if a carbon ends up with more than 4 bonds, hydrogens can be deleted in order to return to a valid structure. When in an invalid state, the hydrogens on carbon are not able to be hidden to avoid ambiguity regarding the number of implied hydrogens. Fusing rings. To fuse rings, add the two rings to the workspace. Select one ring and drag until the shared atoms overlap, then let go. Double-check that the ring successfully fused by double-clicking to see if the whole molecule is selected. Clean up structure button. When drawing structures, bond lengths and angles tend to snap into relatively correct positions. However, the layout can be fixed by selecting the entire molecule and clicking the Clean Up button in the menu on the left. Copy and paste. Lastly, to copy and paste, select a structure, then use Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. All of these directions can be referenced at any time by clicking on the I button in the top left corner of Sketcher.